Hello, one and all, and welcome to yet another edition of the Cliff Ellis Show. I'm your host, Brandon Dunn, along with Coastal Carolina men's basketball coach Cliff Ellis. The regular season finale, coach, 2 games on the docket, 2 now finished, and the season, the regular season at least, is over, and it didn't quite end the way you wanted it to.
No, it didn't, because we had fought so hard to put ourselves, we knew it was going to go down to the last game. We knew we were going to have to win this championship on the road, and we had some great wins at Radford and Longwood, and it comes down to Presbyterian, and it was senior night, and they had a great night, and we couldn't get the ball in the hole, and they deserved to win. I was disappointed we didn't get the win, but you know, in this league, you got to know that every night out somebody can get you, and Presbyterian did that, and as we saw throughout the course of the weekend, there were a lot of upsets, but it's tournament time, people getting fired up, starting to feel the presence of getting into Myrtle Beach next week and playing the tournament. And I think what we've seen that at the end of this regular season, that there's not a team that can't win a game, and there's about 7 teams that can win the whole thing, us being one of them. But it's going to be a crazy ride. As far as the regular season, you know, 21-9, the body of work has been very good, but not enough to win the championship in the regular season. But certainly a lot of good wins that we look at with regards to our play, and we certainly did well in our conference, but just not quite enough.
Despite the setback at Presbyterian, coach, as you mentioned, the body of work, fantastic, another quality season for you in this program. But with that said, now you have to turn your attention to the conference tournament, because the only way you're going to go dancing is winning that thing next week.
Well, we'll go to a postseason tournament, but the one you want is an NCAA tournament. The thing that is important, this season's behind us. It's been a long one. It's been a 2-month one. This next season the next 2 seasons that we're in last as long as you allow it to last. This is about a weekend deal. Conference tournament is where the NCAA is on the line. We certainly have every opportunity to be able to go get this. I say this, that whoever wins this championship not only is going to be good, they're going to get the break of the ball. You cannot bring your C game. Nobody wants to bring the C game,
right? But
you got to bring your A game, and you got to bring it. For us, we got to bring it 3 times. So it was a good season. But now we get into something that we look at. And last year, we didn't win the regular season. We won our title. We won our division. But we came back and won the tournament. So hopefully we'll take this week, get some practice in, focus on some things we need to do, and you know, it should be a great tournament next week. I know the fans in the area, man, they've got a great opportunity ahead of them.
Well, before we go to the tournament, let's take you back to the final week of the regular season. Pick up the action at Presbyterian on Thursday against the Blue Hose. And, Coach, you get things started here, and I tell you what, the Blue Hose came out and played well at the beginning, shots extremely well, and took an early lead on you.
Well, they did. They came out and made some big plays, and they were strong inside. And Downing on the perimeter made some good things. Truss inside, Murray, and they did some good things.
Josh Cameron, though, would come off and hit a couple of big threes, hits another jumper as well to get you back in the game. He gave you a lift. He's been doing that ever since you put him in the starting rotation.
Well, he did. We struggled. It was good that he made that, but we really struggled from the perimeter. We didn't knock shots down. And, you know, when you don't knock shots down, you better be defending and rebounding, and they out-rebounded us. So, you know, give them credit for what they did. And their zone, it was the zone that bothered us. We had trouble with the zone, and we'll work on that this week, but that zone really gave us some issues.
You were able, though, to get the ball inside a few times early on. Marcus Freeman doing what he's always done the last couple of games. And, of course, Badu down low as well gets a bucket off glass. So there was a presence there at the beginning, and then they finally found a way to kind of shut you guys down.
Yes, they did. They kept converging when we did throw it inside, and they kept making double teams. And, you know, then we got looks. We just didn't make some shots. Presbyterian
hanging around because they were hitting their shots, and that seemed to be the difference there in the first 10 minutes of the first half.
That and rebounding. You know, the only thing that I can really fuss at my team about is really and truly the way that we rebounded. You know, they out-rebounded us, and we turned the ball over in the first half. We had 9 turnovers in the first half. I should have mentioned that. That's too many. And we only had 3 in the second half, but those 9 turnovers and rebounding, that was a culprit in the first half.
Warren Gillis steps up here, hits a three, and you guys were up by 4, but the Blue Hose answered, tied at 18, and all of a sudden you had to call a timeout there as actually a media timeout. What'd you tell your team there at that point when you guys had that early lead?
Well, it's a long game. It's about a process. Dig in every possession.
Sloppy basketball, Coach. You just alluded to that. Turnovers, not being able to hit your shots. For a strand there, it just seemed like you know, it just was an uncharacteristic of a Cliff Ellis basketball team.
Well, sometimes it just doesn't go the way you want it to, but there's no question that the turnovers were a big factor in there. And when you're turning it over, I think it takes some confidence away in your shot. You're just not smooth and fluid.
Deshaun Murray, this gentleman came on strong. I believe he clearly had double digits in the scoring department, and he was big in that first half for Presbyterian.
Well, he's a very good player. I mean, what a player that they've gotten in him, and you know, he really gets rebounds. He can go to the rack, and he can hit open shots. So he's a danger.
Presbyterian goes on a run, Coach, builds a 27-18 lead with 4 minutes to play, and then it didn't get any easier from there because Gillis would foul Downey on a three-point play, give him the 4 ball, and just like that, they're up 10.
Well, that was a big play, but there were a lot of plays that contributed to that lead.
You mentioned the shooting. You guys went a stretch of 7+ minutes without a basket. Finally, that was broken. Marcus Freeman gets a bucket down low, but at the half, Coach, you were down 34-23 just because the shots weren't falling.
They weren't falling, and you know, when they're not falling, you got to go get the rebounds. And again, we didn't do a good enough job with that. Sometimes that ball's not going to go in the hole, but you got to get the rebounds.
You start the second half, you're down double digits. It looked good at the beginning because you got a nice dunk there from Tristan Curtis, and it thought at that moment maybe there was some momentum swing in there, but unfortunately the Blue Hose would answer with a 5 spot, and they were up 41-26 in the blink of an eye.
Yep, it got away from us quick, and we're having to come back, which we will come back, but you know, we have to dig deep. But they're really expanding their lead.
You called a timeout, down 15. What did you say in the huddle to them at that point when you knew you were down 15?
Well, we've got to pick the pressure up. There's still time to go. Get your head out of the clouds or wherever it is and focus on what you got to do. And you can't worry about being 15. Get it under 10. Get it under 10. Our whole theme is in that situation, get the score under 10 and work it one possession at a time.
You were able to get it under 10. Josh Cameron came alive, hit 5 quick points, a 3, and of course a bucket there to cut to 11. Wiggins comes alive, 2 hits, a 3, and just like that, Coach, it's an 8-point game.
Well, we cut it to 8. We're back in the basketball game, and now it gets back to possessions again. And you got to give Presbyterian credit. They made some shots down this stretch, and you know, at times we're making a shot, and at times we're not. With
10 minutes to go, it's an 11-point game, but Elijah Wilson comes up with a couple of big threes from the corner. Seemed like he couldn't find his groove, but all of a sudden he hits 2 big threes, kind of found a spot there, and the lead was 9. And it looked like, again, you guys were under double digits. Maybe the comeback was alive. Well,
we're trying, and that certainly was giving us confidence. And there was a span there where we were playing with some confidence, and but at the same point in time, Presbyterian's answered.
You would pull within 5, Coach, with 3 to play. It looked like you were going to the old hack-a-shack that they did in the NBA, and it worked for you because they were missing their free throws. It allowed you to get back into it. But unfortunately, the ones they missed, they came back and they hit. Well, the biggest disappointment in that stretch is the 2 free throw rebounds that they get. With a 5-point lead, they get the rebound. That's uncalled for. And again, that's the disappointing part for us. I mean, we got it down to 5. You miss the free throws, they get the rebound. I mean, that's unexcusable. I mean, you can't have that. And that to me was the disappointment. And that's how this one would end, with Presbyterian hitting for free throws as Coastal Carolina falls in their series finale to Presbyterian 80-69, dropping Coastal to 21-9 on the season, 12-6 in the Big South Conference. If you look at the stats, Coach, it was well-rounded. Warren Gillis with 18, Josh Cameron had 16, Badu had 10, but it's not the numbers you've become accustomed to seeing from your basketball team. Well, it's not the points, it's the shooting percentage. You know, some of them guys had points, but the percentage was down. So if you take a lot of shots, you know, you might get points. But again, the ball didn't go in the hole. I think we got some looks at it. I think that our defense could have been a little bit better, but turnovers in the first half, rebounding, and we just didn't play with that. Didn't play with that spark that we needed to when we got behind. And Warren Gillis talked about that spark and kind of the lack thereof from this basketball team tonight as he discussed it after this loss.
It's over now for us, so we got to move on to the tournament. Nothing we can do about it, and we got a new season coming up next week, and that's all we can think about.
The HTC peak performer in this game against Presbyterian was Warren Gillis, 18 points, 5 boards in 33 minutes. And Coach, it seemed like down the stretch he came alive and gave you a chance, but that chance just came up a tad bit short. But it wasn't because Warren didn't try.
Well, I don't think anybody on our team didn't try, but as far as the guys on the team, he had the best game.
Coming up next, right here on the Cliff Ellis Show, Coach will break down the win against Longwood earlier in the week. We'll have those highlights for you coming up right after the break, right here on News Channel 15.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by Southwind Engineering.
For more than 60 years, HTC has been delivering worldwide connections from right here in our community. A community our employees are proud to support in every way, from coaching Little League sports to local fundraisers and quarterly blood drives. We sponsor and support the community and our school systems, recognizing greatness along the way. It's a commitment we take seriously, all to strengthen the connections here in our community. HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
At Logan's Roadhouse, we grill up sizzling Southern-inspired flavor using time-honored recipes we've collected and perfected over time. From the inviting aromas of our wood-fired grilled steaks to our delicious from-scratch dishes with seasonings you can see, we know how to bring out food's true flavor. And when you pair our food with an ice-cold beer or our handcrafted Roadhouse tea, you'll understand why Logan's Roadhouse is much more than a restaurant. Come to where steak rules the road. Logan's Roadhouse. Strand Orthopedic is a proud supporter of Coastal Carolina athletics. Strand Orthopedic provides the best care from simple sprains to the most complex spinal or sports-related injuries. It is our mission to get patients back to life and back in the game and help them resume normal activities in the safest and shortest amount of time. Get in the game with Strand Orthopedic.
Waccamaw Land and Timber has been serving the Grand Strand since 1982. The ultimate goal of Waccamaw Land and Timber is the best interest of both the buyer and the seller. If you're looking for a place to relax, hunt, or fish, the professionals at Waccamaw Land and Timber can find you the perfect recreational property. Call 449-0441 to discuss your real estate needs with Waccamaw Land and Timber.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by the Britton Law Firm.
Welcome back here to the Cliff Ellis Show. Earlier in the week, the Chanticleers back on the road in Virginia for the third time this season, and it seems like every time the Chanticleers went to Virginia, there was snow on the ground, but at least this time, Coach, it wasn't snowing during the game, so that's always a plus.
Well, it was. It was 14 inches of snow. That was a lot. But anyway, we got the game in. We had to stay overnight because of the fact that the weather was treacherous and we couldn't get home. So it was a tough road trip from that aspect, but our team went out and took care of business in this game.
You've done it very well in Virginia, and of course that's continued on Mondays. We take you out to the highlights between Coastal Carolina and Longwood. And Coach, let's get this thing going here in the first. What can you say about Josh Cameron? You put him in the starting lineup on senior night. You took Elijah, put him on the bench, and so far it's worked out for you because Josh has been lighting it up, and he hits 2 big jumpers here.
Well, they were big shots, and you know, we got off to a good start, and Longwood is going to give us a battle, but our offense is clicking in this particular game early.
What can you say about Marcus Freeman? Because it seems the last 10 games he's come on, he came on strong here, made a jumper, and all of a sudden, Coach, you were up 11-6 and had that little cushion just because you had the big man coming off the bench.
Well, I think his confidence has grown. I think that he's learned the game. I think he's been a very big asset to our team, especially in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Is it something he's done in practice that you've seen? What is it with regards to just the way he's responded? Is it just because he maybe has matured a little bit, or grown up a little bit? What can you say has been the key?
I think game experience. You know, this is the first time around Division I, and I think it took him a while to get adjusted, but as he got into the games and started having success, he started feeling better about himself. So, you know, that's been very helpful.
Coming down the stretch, it was the Josh Cameron and Marcus Freeman show. Josh hits a 3 here to put you up 16-14. Marcus Freeman comes back and gives you a 4-point lead, and then all of a sudden here comes Cameron again, another layup, Coach, and you're up 20-14 with 7.5 to play in the first.
Well, we're getting the ball in the basket, unlike the Presbyterian game. We're on the road and the ball's going in the basket, and we're playing good defense, so that's a good combination.
Definitely good defense and good underneath presence from Marcus Freeman. Another bucket here. I mean, I'm running out of things to say about this young man because he just continues to be productive and continues to give you good minutes off the bench. And again, he was big again in this game.
Yes, he was, and you got to give him a lot of credit.
Tristan Curtis coming back at the 3:46 mark, gets a bucket here to give you a 31-23 lead. But at that point is when things kind of changed because Longwood kind of came alive at that point.
Yeah, well, they're at home, and they've got some students in there that are rowdy. It's a small, compact place, and they're trying to make it tough on us. But that's why I was proud of our team. I thought we responded pretty well to it.
Fisher hits a 3 for Longwood, and at the break, Coach, we're tied up. It's 31-31, so we got ourselves a ball game Monday night in Virginia.
Yes, well, you're on the road. Every game on the road is going to be tough. So, you know, that's the way it is. We just got to knuckle down and play it out.
What was the pep talk during the halftime there, knowing that you had a battle on your hands, not unlike any other game you've played in the Big South?
Well, we're on the road. You have to steal it. That we always talk about it. On the road, you have to steal it. It's not easy in basketball on the road.
The first 5 minutes of every half is big, and you've said that all year long. Again, coming out, it was big for you. Siobhan Wiggins makes a 3. Badu follows that with another 3. That's 6 right there in a span of about 3 minutes, and all of a sudden you're up 39-33.
Well, we've got a lead. We came out the first 5 minutes and seized momentum, and that's huge. And then it's going to be back and forth, but we really have a good second half.
You did have a good second half. Elijah Wilson coming off the bench and continues to contribute off the bench in his, I guess, new role. He hits the big 3 here, and before you know it, Coach, you're up 10.
Well, we're up 10, and we kind of keep it that way. We're trying to keep them above 10 where they don't cut it and get too much confidence, because you know that crowd will start getting into it.
Coming back from a double-digit lead is always tough, as you found out against Presbyterian on Thursday. But the good thing is this night it was you guys coming up big. Marcus Freeman with a pair of buckets here, a 4-point swing, and you're up 51-37 with about 12 minutes to play.
Well, it's still a lot of possessions to go. 14 points is a good cushion, but there's a lot of basketball to be played.
And there was a lot of basketball. 7:40 left in the game. Siobhan Wiggins makes a jumper, and you're up 12. And, Coach, it seemed from that point on, Marcus Freeman gets a layup, but from there on, it was free throw shooting, and you guys have always done well, especially this season from the charity stripe.
Yeah, when you get into the games like this and you get a lead, you know that they're going to foul you, like we did against Presbyterian. You just got to go knock them down.
Is that something that you guys put an emphasis on during practice, or is it something that you go and recruit with regards to kids hitting free throws?
Well, I think shooting free throws is a recruiting aspect, because I think a guy that comes into your program either is a good free throw shooter, he's not. I think you can improve the percentages, but you're not going to take a 50% free throw shooter and turn him into a 75% shooter. That's not going to happen. So, you know, you look at guys that can shoot the basketball. At the same point in time, you never know how players are going to respond under pressure. I always like to see guys' free throw percentages the last 5 minutes of a game. Now, that's a guy that's a free throw shooter.
Well, you hit your free throws, and that was the big difference in this one, as Coastal Carolina goes on to win this one 72-59. Marcus Freeman, 13 points, 8 boards. Wiggins, well, he led your team with 14, so a nice addition from those two gentlemen to lead you to a victory on the road.
Yeah, that was a big win on the road, and set it up for finish the season, try to play for it, but unfortunately at Presbyterian didn't happen. But a good road swing in Virginia, not only with Longwood, but the week before with Radford.
Here's Josh Cameron and Siobhan Wiggins after this victory over Longwood.
We knew that we was going to take a punch from them. We knew we were going to take everybody's best punch. So we expected a tough game.
It was on the road. We knew they was going to hit some tough shots. Fisher came up. He played pretty good and hit some shots as we expected. So we knew it was going to be a battle.
The HTC peak performer for the victory over Longwood was Marcus Freeman, 13 points and 8 boards. And, Coach, just take it away.
Well, he did a great job for us. He manned it inside. He was strong around the glass with his score, and he rebounded for us. So, you know, this was a great team win, but as far as the peak performer, you got to give it to Marcus in this game.
It's time for Sean's Corner. Coach Ellis sits down with Badu Jang. That's coming up next, right here on News Channel 15.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by Burroughs and Chapin.
At its heart, above all else, A&I has had a long-standing commitment to the community.
Our driving force is our dedication to the people we serve.
From Myrtle Beach to Florence,
Wilmington to Charleston.
every job is different and every community is unique.
No matter what disaster has brought us to you.
It's our commitment that will keep us here. We're proud to be celebrating 40 years of service to the Carolinas.
And we're looking forward to 40 more.
Another trial, another battle. Where's your strength? Tenacity. What's your history? Fighting for my clients in court. But what sustains me now is working with three of the finest individuals I've ever known. My family. There's power in family. Power for our clients.
Fighting for your rights is my family's business.
Britain Law. Born to fight, bred to win.
Locals love Creek Rats for lunch. They say it's the fresh salads, fantastic wraps, and seafood baskets. But when you experience those incredible waterfront views, you get that relaxed Creek Rats attitude. Waterfront on the Marsh Walk in Murrells Inlet.
It's time to get your fun on at Broadway at the Beach. Specializing in one-of-a-kind shopping, shoppers will find treasures of every kind, from unique gift shops you won't find anywhere else to nationally recognized names. And while shopping, don't forget to refuel at one of more than 20 mouth-watering restaurants and eateries, where you can choose from the all-American hamburger and milkshake to fajitas and sushi. Broadway is also home to spectacular attractions and live entertainment. For more information, visit BroadwayAtTheBeach.com. Broadway at the Beach. Positively awesome.
Locals love Creek Rats for dinner. They rave about the nightly specials and how much they enjoy the live music. But when you experience that incredible waterfront view, you get that relaxed Creek Rats attitude. Waterfront on the Marsh Walk in Murrells Inlet.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by HTC.
We're here today on Sean's Corner with Badu Jang from Senegal, a young man that's always wearing a smile. We're proud of him and what he's done. His game has really blossomed. He's always had that athleticism and skill coming into the program, but he's developed his game outside as well as inside. Man, what games he had. This year alone, 15 points and 11 rebounds against UCLA. That stands out to me. In the past, in the conference tournament, you hit big shots. The shot against Auburn when we were making that comeback, man, what a shot that was. So you've given a lot of thrills, and basketball-wise, he's got a great future ahead of him. Only a junior, but he does work in the classroom. And the other thing that I'll say about Badu is he works in the offseason. You worked in the library, right? Tell us about working in the library. Did you do a lot of talking?
I mean, during the school year, we had a lot of talking, but during the summer, it was really boring because there was not a lot of students there and stuff. But, I mean, it was a good experience working at the library, you know, checking out laptops, checking in, and all that.
Tell everybody what your major is.
My major was finance, but I recently changed to economic with a minor in global studies. So, because I think I like economy better.
20 years from now, when basketball's all said and done, what would you like to be doing?
I mean, I would like to be working especially around countries, like organizations like the UN or the IMF, you know, where you help less fortunate countries too. So that's my goal.
Well, I admire that, and I am so blessed to have you as a player. We're so blessed to have you at Coastal Carolina. You're doing such a great job on the court and off the court. And it's a pleasure to have Badu Jang from Senegal on Sean's Corner.
It's tournament time as Coach and I break down the Big South Conference Tournament Championship coming up this week at the HTC Center. We'll be right back right here on The Cliff Ellis Show.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by Creek Rats.
So totally free checking is completely free?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next you'll tell me there's free online banking.
Actually, there is.
Free online bill pay? Mm-hmm. No way I can get a free quick card, debit card the instant I open an account.
Check.
Yeah, check, like free first order of checks?
All included.
What? And a free gift?
And a free gift.
Come in today and sign up for Crestcom's totally free checking. Stop by any of our convenient locations.
I'm on candid camera, right?
Southwind Engineering is a fast-growing architecture, engineering, consulting, and construction services organization. The principals at Southwind have a long-standing history of client focus, quality design, and technological innovation. Whether you are building your new dream home or your next major project, call the professionals at Southwind Engineering today to guide you through the process from start to finish.
As parents, you ensure your child is fed and clothed, but are you doing all you can to make sure they're healthy? Each year, tens of millions of children contract the flu virus. Help your child fight the flu and be a health hero in their life. Health Hero offers school-located vaccinations throughout the Southeast. We help protect your children, family, and community with convenient, safe, and painless options. Administering flu mist nasal spray to participating students. And there are no out-of-pocket expenses regardless of insurance. Become a Health Hero today.
For more than 60 years, HTC has been delivering worldwide connections from right here in our community. A community our employees are proud to support in every way. From coaching Little League sports to local fundraisers and quarterly blood drives. We sponsor and support the community and our school systems, recognizing greatness along the way. It's a commitment we take seriously, all to strengthen the connections here in our community. HTC, this is life. Connect with it.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by Strand Orthopedic.
Welcome back here to the Cliff Ellis Show. The week ahead is a big one. The Big South Conference tournament starts on your own home floor, the HTC Center on Wednesday. Good thing for your club, Coach. You got a first-round bye, so you don't play until Friday.
Well, that's exactly right. It's 3 games to win. It's going to be a great tournament. Fans are in for a treat. This game it's going to be wild. It's going to really be wild, and there's a lot of great teams, and there's not a team that can't win a game, as I said earlier, and there's not a team that can't win it. Being on your home floor, I mean, we were 7-2 at home and 6-3 on the road. So, you know, you look at the wins on the road this year. Shoot, there's been a lot of wins. I think like 40-something% of the games this year been won on the road. So that says a lot with regards to it. So there's, you know, we just got to come out and play and take it one possession at a time, rebound, not turn the ball over, make shots, defend, and, you know, we do that, and then hopefully we could bring another championship home.
This is what it comes down to, 3 victories, Coach, and you're going dancing for the 2nd consecutive year. But as you alluded to, those 3 victories are going to come at a price. They're not going to be easy.
No, it's not going to be easy for anybody. Anybody can win this thing. I mean, it's wide open. It is wide open. Should be a great tournament, but, you know, our guys will be ready. They'll bring it, and we're going to give it the best we've got. That's all you can ask them to do.
The tournament starts on Wednesday at the HTC Center, the championship game on Sunday. So that means next Sunday, we'll let you know exactly what's going on with the Chanticleers leading up to that championship. We'll see if they make the big dance and win the Big South Conference Tournament Championship for the 2nd consecutive year. On behalf of myself and Coach Ellis, thanks for watching. We'll see you next Sunday right here on the Cliff Ellis Show.
The Cliff Ellis Show is brought to you by HTC.
As parents, you ensure your child is fed and clothed, but are you doing all you can to make sure they're healthy? Each year, tens of millions of children contract the flu virus. Help your child fight the flu and be a health hero in their life. Health Hero offers school-located vaccinations throughout the Southeast. We help protect your children, family, and community with convenient, safe, and painless options. Administering flu mist nasal spray to participating students. And there are no out-of-pocket expenses regardless of insurance. Become a Health Hero today.
Southwind Engineering is a fast-growing architecture, engineering, consulting, and construction services organization. The principals at Southwind have a long-standing history of client focus, quality design, and technological innovation. Whether you are building your new dream home or your next major project, call the professionals at Southwind Engineering today to guide you through the process from start to finish.
For more than 60 years, HTC has been delivering worldwide connections from right here in our community. A community our employees are proud to support in every way. from coaching Little League sports to local fundraisers and quarterly blood drives. We sponsor and support the community and our school systems, recognizing greatness along the way. It's a commitment we take seriously, all to strengthen the connections here in our community. HTC, this is life. Connect with it.